quality assurance may have felt like a fluffy term 20 years ago, and that's why they call it quality engineering now. But QA, when you pick up a device and it says on the back of it the CE stamp to say, if I get on a plane, it's not going to explode. And you have to have reassurance, that actually what's being built, and there is no CE stamp for software, right? You don't know if next week Salesforce get rid of 40% of their best engineers because they're trying to save costs. And actually all your critical systems that are dependent on Salesforce or are dependent on SAP or dependent on Oracle ERP suddenly stop working, and then you're not able to make any transactions. A large UK company, cost them $2 billion off the tax dollars costs because they lost access to all of their ERP CRM systems, and they had 6 months of just people sat around not being able to build cars. This is going to be the reality in 2026 and beyond. The question is, do you want to end up being on the front page of the World Digital Report, or do you want to read the report and then think about what you need to start planning and what steps you need to do for AI governance, AI assurance, and then take the next steps needed to become compliant? Think about ISO 42001. Think about how these different things are going to impact your business. Think about AI Standards Hub and look at what you've got, whether or not you're medical device testing or everything else. There's a lot of, these are, be aware, and, maybe they're not enforceable yet, and I think that might be something we get to see in 2 years' time. But even if they're not enforceable, they still have much more bigger impact than GDPR and bigger fines. EU AI Act is applicable to organizations in the US that, trade in the EU, right? It's like anything else, like the California data privacy and stuff like that. And it's not just 4% or 200 million, which is of its greatest. This could be your business not actually able to trade on the stock exchange, not just literally getting destroyed in 6 months, But anyway, I've tried to be as upbeat as I possibly could be about this whole thing.
Now the report.
Go to testsavant.ai, click register, download it, run all that on there. Once it says you're okay, then you can sleep tonight. But if you don't do it, then you should never sleep again, right?